Welcome to Forensic Friday.
Where we examine the intersection of true crime, psychology, and the heart of being human in the middle of it all. Okay, so this one you're going to love.
I'm excited.
You're going to love it.
I'm going to watch the thing, but I've been watching the Diddy thing.
Me too. Me too.
So I've been watching.
Posted on our socials today?
No, I haven't seen what you posted today.
You poor thing. Nat and I, because we share our Instagram now, it is hilarious because
I know. There's some things she'll post, like I posted something and then I went and reposted it on my own story.
And then I shared it.
And then she shared it and I was like, no, that's not
how that works.
If I already posted it.
Spectacularly wrong. You can bet your bottom dollar that came from Janine.
It's fine.
Fine. But also, we do about as much social media work as one person together. So that's good. I feel good about it.
If neither one of us had a full-time job,
we'd be killing it.
If we had the extra funds to just be able to quit our day job.
Oh my God, we'd be killing it.
Oh, it'd be easy.
But we're not doing that, and it's okay because
we can't, and we don't want to. We love our day job.
We love our day job too. Also, the story that I have for you tonight, the case, involves people who are very much in our wheelhouse. And these women that we're going to talk about tonight would be our friends.
Okay.
These would be like the best lunch date ever kind of folks.
Love this for us.
Boy, could we share some stories.
Well, let's dive in. I'm excited. But also, everyone go watch the Diddy thing on Netflix. It's like executive producer is 50 Cent.
So here's my brain back. Thank you. ADHD. Back to Diddy.
Cracks me up.
Guys, the trolling that 50 Cent. Okay, here's the things you haven't seen that I've posted on our own Instagram.
50 Cent is hilarious.
50 Cent trolled him.
Yes.
Then, I mean, the whole thing is a trolling of P. Diddy. But then Diddy sent flowers to 50 Cent at his Miami office, and they look like funeral flowers. And 50 Cent was like, look at this gay shit, blah, 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 which I don't endorse how he talked about it at all, okay? Also, he knows his audience. That's going to bug Diddy.
Here's the other, exactly. And right? 50 Cent is going to do whatever he wants to do.
And the comment section, if you go to our socials and you see this post and you read the comments, it's like, listen, I was explaining this to my mom yesterday, to Tina, because Tina's watching it too. And she's like, you and Nat love hip hop, but there's all this crap. And I'm like, listen, wait a minute, back up. There's real hip hop, which started way long time ago. And we're talking the people that we love, like Ice-T kind of folks, right? Then there's Diddy's brand of hip hop, which was born with money, pretended to be a gangster, is still not a gangster, abuses people he has power and control over, going head to head with 50 Cent, who was shot 9 times and lived to tell about it, and actually raps better with a busted up face.
Dude.
So, I mean, they are not the same brand of human in terms of toughness, I would argue intelligence, all kinds of things. But the flowers, so people were like, they were like, 50, be careful. Those look like funeral flowers. And then somebody was like, it is hilarious that you are telling 50 Cent to be careful. You need to tell him to stay dangerous.
Yeah.
And also, he's already been shot 9 times and survived it. So I don't think he's losing a ton of sleep over Diddy in prison.
Dude,
Diddy absolutely engineered Tupac's death, though. I also never realized.
And Biggie.
I don't know that he orchestrated Biggie, but he sure profited off of Biggie.
Well, he profited. Well, yeah, Biggie paid for his own funeral. Also,
that made me mad.
The fact that he was so insistent on Biggie going to LA to perform and then didn't let him, like, there was I think he knew about it.
He really may have. He is so freaking sick
Yeah, he's gross.
He is so sick. But I never realized how much of a champion of Biggie's Tupac was. Like,
Mm.
I knew they were kind of friends before everything went sideways with the West Coast, East Coast
Well,
crazy.
Tupac was like they were doing stuff, but he bit oh sorry, I'm an idiot. I was thinking P. Diddy and Tupac. I was like, Tupac wasn't really a big fan of P. Diddy, but yes,
No,
Biggie
Biggie.
and Tupac. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I
I
totally
didn't
missed that.
realize how much they really were very friendly. And Diddy just ruins everything he touches. I also was a Making the Band fan, so getting into some of that, like you knew it was bad from watching it, but
Mhm. Mhm.
it's just wild. So
Yeah.
in the spirit of men behaving badly,
Yes.
the case today is don't date Brandon. Don't date Brandon.
I am excited about
This
this.
this case, you guys, honestly, it just hit me right in the feel goods because it's terrifying.
Mhm.
Also, it's everything that we deal with every day and try to prevent. But this case makes me proud to be a woman. And
Mhm.
that's what we're going to focus on after we get through why no one should ever date Brandon
Oh my gosh. Okay.
or anyone like Brandon. You're looking him up. Are you going to look up his picture?
Yeah.
Look up douchebag McGee and it'll be like, boop, Brandon Johnson, Seattle, Washington.
Ow.
Well, currently prison, but we'll get there.
Okay. All
Okay,
right. Let's do it.
let's do it. So, we're talking about Brandon Johnson, the documentary slash case I dove into. It's on Peacock, YouTube, and what was the other one I told you it was on?
Paramount.
Paramount. Yes. Um, we start off with a woman named Amber Rasmussen,
Mhm.
and it goes back to like 2013. She's 35 years old. She just moved to Portland and she's ready to settle down and get married. She's doing the mid 30s thing, trying to find her man, her person,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So she gets matched online dating. She's doing the swiping, right?
Mhm.
She matches with Brandon. Brandon is 6'3", which they say ad nauseum. And Garrett was like, the height thing is weird with women. I'm like, it is weird with women, but it is a thing. They constantly talked about it. But he's 6'3", muscular, good, quote unquote, good dad. This is what, his profile would make you think.
Yeah.
And they start communicating. They spoke to each other for about a month before they met up in person at a bar in Seattle.
Okay.
He was very charming and they had this spark. And she's immediately thinking, I think I've met my guy.
Mhm.
I will say, women, and don't take offense to this because I have a million friends in this position. Women, I think sometimes when we get a little bit older, we start thinking, I need to find my person. It's like the Rachel Green reverse engineering on Friends when she's like, well, if I want to be with him for 2 years before I have a baby, I should already know him. And that math is real math. That's girl
Right,
math,
right.
real math.
Yeah, women do think about that because we have a biological clock.
So I think it makes women sometimes extra vulnerable when they're super, super young, like 19-year-old Cassie with Diddy, or when you're, like in your 30s and you want to settle down, if you have a spark with somebody, things might move quicker than they would otherwise.
Yep.
That was the case with these guys. So
Okay.
they get together, they go on this date, they're having fun. He's taking her on these amazing dates. 6 weeks into the relationship, they're at a bar. He leans over and he asks her to marry him.
6 weeks?
6 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
6 weeks.
Oh
Yep.
no, that's a red flag.
And he was in Seattle and she was in Portland. They're 3.5 hours apart. So she decides, I'm going to move to Seattle because he had a daughter. He had a 4-year-old daughter, Sydney, who he went on and on about, right? And
Hmm.
she's like, I'm not going to separate a family. I don't have a kid. I'll move up there. So a week before she's supposed to move to Seattle, she gets a message on Facebook. And it is a woman informing her that he was on Match.com. His profile picture on Match.com, that Brandon was on Match.com, His profile picture was actually of them from the night of their engagement party, just with her cropped out. You can even see a little bit of her hair. Oh, I know.
What an asshole.
This whole case is like this. This is just one. Welcome to Don't Date Brandon. This is step
Oh
one.
no.
Okay.
Okay.
So Brandon has all these excuses, excuse after excuse. My question for you is if you have a friend
Hmm.
and the friend goes, I was going to move to Seattle, my stuff's all packed, and he was on Match.com with a picture of us that he cropped me out of. What do you tell your friend?
Bye. Tell him
Oh,
bye. You break up. We're
that's
done.
so dumb. It might be a friend ender for me. I'm sorry. I know you play it cooler than me. I'm just not here for some nonsense. I don't know how long I could hang with that. I might be
Hmm.
like, hey, I'll be your friend outside of this relationship, meaning I want to hear not one more word about it.
Well, here's the thing. If she came to me and said, this is what happened, what do I do? I'm gonna say break up with them. If she doesn't, then I'm with you. Like,
If
I
you
can't hang.
have to ask a friend what to do if this happens, go to therapy. You're listening to this and you go, oh, that must have been hard for her that she was having these plans. I would rather blow up the moving truck than drive 1 mile towards Seattle to live with this man.
Okay, so I'm really excited. I have a point to this. My cousin, who I call my little sister, her name, oh, I shouldn't say her name. She's coming to visit. She's the one from Wisconsin when we were talking about like where in Wisconsin that chick is that ran away,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know?
Slender Man chick, yeah.
Yeah. So that cousin slash the girl that I call my little sister, she's coming to visit in end of December. I'm so excited. Anyway, this happened to her where,
Oh,
but not the same thing. She was in a relationship for like many, 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 many years, and essentially something along this line. She was supposed to move. It was a whole thing.
mm.
Second, she found out his nonsense. She was like, bye, bye, bye.
And
Years
that's
too,
years.
like
That's
7 years or
years.
something.
This is not 7 years. This is we hung out for 6 weeks, got engaged, and then bam.
Correct.
No, for sure.
Here's the thing,
Now,
if my cousin can do it, ladies, you can do it.
well, and here's what I will say, and this is in defense of the women who struggle with this, okay?
Hmm.
Nat and I are assholes about this kind of stuff. If you
Hmm.
come at us with nonsense because of who we are as people, we actually don't have a lot of patience for it, which is weird that we're therapists, but we don't have patience for it.
Correct.
These sorry excuses for men
Okay, I need to hear them.
target women who are extra caring, compassionate, and forgiving. And that's a theme through this whole story.
Great. Okay.
So part of her, I just want to give her credit that even while
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? Which she would say now, at the time, she's an extra compassionate person who
Wants to
also
give.
wants kids, wants a family, right? So those
Mhm.
are that's part of it.
And wants to give benefit of the doubt, all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay, tell me some of these ridiculous excuses.
Oh, get ready. No, it's coming. Okay. So basically, he launches into he really is just still affected by his crazy ex-wife. And his ex-wife's name is Athena. Okay.
Hmm.
He tells all these stories about Athena. Athena racked up $100,000 in credit card debt in his name, demanded a $30,000 ring, kept calling him and telling him that she wanted a baby with him even after they had split. And he basically talks about how he got cheated on and left by his crazy ex-wife, Athena. And so he had some kind of a panic. He asked Amber to marry him because she's the love of his life. And then he freaked out and did the Match.com insanity. That was kind of his excuse. So at this same time, phone call, phone call, phone call, phone call. Brandon starts getting blown up by Athena.
Hmm.
The phone's just ringing all the time, and it's Athena, Athena, Athena. So Amber's going, okay, she is a little much.
Hmm.
She's, why is she calling so much? Like, this is a weird thing that happened to him. I'm going to give him a shot. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So she moves up there, and the whole time when she's up there in Seattle with Brandon, Athena's kind of a constant presence with the phone. The phone's constantly going off. Ding, ding, ding. There's just all this crap happening.
Is Athena the mom of his kiddo?
Mhm.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Athena's the ex-wife and mother of his kiddo,
Okay.
and mother of a child from a previous relationship who was Brandon's stepdaughter when they were married,
Okay.
a little bit older. Yeah. Okay. So this starts to really take a toll on Amber and Athena, and or Amber and Athena, on Amber and Brandon.
Hmm.
And so Lexus, who is Athena's daughter,
Hmm.
Brandon's stepdaughter, in the documentary talks about just hearing fighting about her mom, even.
Okay.
So, she was just hearing all of this fighting, and it was just kind of chaos. Just
Sure.
chaos. Okay.
Yeah.
So they decide to move to Oregon. So Brandon and Amber decide there's too much chaos happening here with Athena. As close as he is to his daughter, he's like, I'm going to move. And they change the court order.
Hmm.
So they get court ordered, basically talking parents, what we have in Colorado. They called it Family Wall or something, but similar. It's an app to communicate about parenting time. And Amber's not allowed to ever reach out to Athena, ever. And he had previously told her, don't talk to Athena, block Athena on social media, don't talk to her. She's crazy. Right.
Okay. Hmm.
So on this parenting wall, okay, this stalking parents parenting wall, Athena starts making excuses to not bring their daughter. Last minute change of plans, like messing with the court order, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Amber is frustrated for Brandon, feels for Brandon that this is happening, and those two finally get married. And she says, and this is cringy, get married to see how committed he was. I'm like, that's not a reason to get married. Love you, but no.
Girl, oh my
No,
gosh.
she's very cool now,
Wow.
but
Okay.
we were struggling there for a minute.
Here's the thing though. I actually love when I have clients who come in who have similar thinking to this
Oh yeah.
before they do the thing, because they'll say stuff and I just look at like, and you and I, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I am not an OG style therapist where I have like a poker face and no
The
expression.
mirror therapist, the blank slate where
Yeah, no, there's literally no way. Like if when I've had people come in and they are like this, I look at them as if I'm like, girl,
I have to tell you, someone who knows me
what are we doing?
as a therapist talked to someone who knows me professionally, and the person who knows me professionally figured out I was that person's therapist based on the advice that the therapist gave her.
Oh, I was standing there when this happened.
Mm-hmm. But that's a reputation, and it is not a blank slate reputation. Sorry, not sorry.
I can't be a blank
If
slate.
you want that in a therapist, go psychodynamic. But that's not what we
Yeah.
do. So
Yeah.
Halloween,
Or Peter.
so they get married.
Or go see Peter.
Go see Peter. Go see. I do know people who do this really well. I just
No,
can't control my
Peter.
face. So here we are.
Peter does it really well. But then he'll say the thing.
Yes.
So it's like you don't feel judged. Sometimes people feel judged by me.
Well, yes, that's fair.
With Peter, I'm not judging, but I
No,
could
you're
see
not
why.
judgmental, but the face does what it does sometimes.
That they like sometimes people tell me something and I'm like, come again.
But you also know how to apologize, which is important if you have a face like that. That's all.
Sure, you have to know how to
I get
apologize
it.
for a
Same.
face like that.
Yeah.
But then you have like a Peter who like has more of the blank slate face,
Yes.
but can say the thing in a really appropriate way.
It makes him excellent at what he does.
It does.
It really does. Okay, so Halloween. So Amber and Brandon get married to see how committed he is.
Okay,
He's
solid.
down for that. He's already done it before. Why not do it again?
Cool.
So on Halloween, a woman messages asking Amber if she's married to Brandon Johnson because he was trying to date her friend Avery.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm. His story, because she's immediately like, "What?" I'm like, "What? What are you doing? You're a disaster." He
Mm-hmm.
has a story because he always has
Of
a story.
course he
And he
does.
is very effective. He's an effective manipulator.
Wait, he was trying to date Avery after he got married?
Yeah, he's married now. He's got a chick on the side, and he has a thing with A-naves. So we have Amber. Then we had Athena
Athena.
was the first wife. Then we have Amber, who he's now married to because we're seeing
Yeah.
how committed he is,
Yeah.
which turns out not much because he's got a girlfriend named Avery.
Who's her friend?
Yes, he denies this completely. What he says is, well, no, no, not he. Avery is not Amber's friend.
Oh,
Avery's friend reached out, and you know what we've said: if somebody's friend
got
reaches
it.
out, believe them. Okay,
Believe them every time.
every time. If there's smoke, there's fire. Just be done.
Yes.
So Avery's friend is the one who reached out to Amber and said, "This dude's trying to date my friend. I think he's married to you." So here's Brandon's story. Brandon says, "Oh, no, no, no. I reconnected with Avery at our 10-year reunion, and she's been stalking me ever since." And he shows her so many messages from Avery, and he is shooting Avery down. He's like, "No, I'm in a relationship. No, I'm married. No, I'm whatever." So then Amber says, "I want to talk to her. Put her on the phone." Okay, Amber, like Amber's coming to play now, right?
Mm-hmm.
She calls this woman, she calls Avery. Avery picks up the phone, denied the allegations, apologized for the friend reaching out. And then Brandon went to the courthouse and got a restraining order on Avery. Okay.
Interesting.
Yes. Brandon's like, my personal life's been a little messy. I'm going to go excel in my career. So he starts working for Nike and sending pictures of himself on a private jet. I don't know what his job was for Nike, but he was on this private jet and he's sending all these pictures and he's taking all of these trips. And she's starting to get suspicious, and her family's getting suspicious. Like, why is he gone so much?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then he tells her he has leukemia.
Oh no.
He tells her, "Don't tell anyone. You can't tell my job. I'm not going to tell my job. There's a very specific treatment that I'm going to get in Seattle." He loses weight. He's throwing up. He didn't lose his hair, but he's definitely going through something, and he's gone all the time in these treatments. Never has Amber go to the hospital with her. He never goes to the doctor with her, but he lost 40 to 50 pounds. So, I mean, he is physically changing.
Mm-hmm.
All of that's happening. And Amber is like, something is still not right.
Mm.
So she goes searching in social media and she finds Avery's profile. And Avery is in a picture with Brandon
Oh no.
on social media.
Okay.
So then Amber's like, "I need to FaceTime you, Avery." So Brandon's like, "Let's do it. Let's set up the FaceTime call because that would violate the restraining order that he filed. And then they could get her arrested." So Brandon decides he's going to file charges and he drives up to Seattle from Oregon because he wants to see Avery get arrested in Seattle. And he sends Amber a picture of Avery with her hands behind her back, handcuffed,
Oh no. Oh my
getting
gosh.
arrested. And then what she says is weird became the normal,
Oh no.
meaning now she's in a relationship with this man where there's smoke and things get weird, but then it always does kind of make sense in the end somehow, even if it's very weird, right?
He
So,
put her in the handcuffs.
oh, just wait.
Oh my gosh.
No, it was legit cops putting her in handcuffs. Picture of her in handcuffs, okay? And he's telling her this is
But dude,
all this stuff.
are the cops in the picture or is it just her in high? Okay, cops are in
There's
the picture.
cops in the picture, yep.
Okay.
So 2018, his behavior starts changing even more,
Mm-hmm.
and he's traveling constantly to Seattle. And Amber finally starts getting wise to like going through mail and stuff, right?
Sure. Yeah.
She finds townhouse bills from Seattle that didn't line up with his stories, parking tickets, like stuff like that.
Okay.
And Amber's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna call Athena. Athena.
Okay.
Wife
Okay.
Athena.
Original. Yep, yep, yep.
OG
Mm-hmm.
Athena.
Mm-hmm.
Because Avery's nuts. Brandon's acting weird. We don't know what end is up. And she's like, I'm just gonna call Athena.
Yep.
I'm just gonna call Athena. And Athena picks up and she's like, hi. Like Athena hasn't heard from Amber in years.
Right.
And when Amber knew Athena, things were chilly. Like
Okay.
Amber was very rude to Athena because Athena was calling bing, 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 bing. And
Right.
you know what I
Right.
mean? So, like, Amber wanted nothing to do with Athena. She's the
Yeah.
crazy ex. So, Amber tells Athena, hey, so you know all the messages and all the back and forth about the plans on the parenting wall app. You know, what's up with that? And why is there so much miscommunication about seeing Sydney? Like, what is going on? Athena knows nothing about the parenting app messages.
Oh no.
So Amber's like, no, I've seen the mess. So now she's like, who's crazier? Athena or Brandon? Like somebody,
Right.
right? But what they realize together as they're talking pretty quickly, he manufactured a year worth of messages on the parenting app, being both parties.
Oh
He
my
was
gosh.
Brandon, and then he would log in as Athena and have conversations with himself to explain his back and forth and what he was doing.
The fact that there are people in this world
Oh my God.
who do this
Yes.
is scary.
If you're willing to devote this much time, you could do something else for yourself.
It's just wild. So
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna jump the gun here. So he was doing that with Avery. He was the text messages that he said she was sending and showed her all the things. He was also doing those.
Oh, yes, but she doesn't know that yet
Okay, okay.
because he actually was cheating on Athena with Avery.
With
He
Avery or with Amber?
oh, sorry, back up. He did both sides of the messages. Okay.
Yes.
So they get that sorted. Then Athena says, "Can I finally like tell you my story?" And Amber's finally ready to hear it, right?
Hmm.
So Brandon cheated on Athena before they ever got married. Avery is his actual girlfriend. They figured out he actually is dating this woman, Avery,
Right, right,
in
right,
Seattle. The
right,
messages weren't from her.
right.
We still don't know, though. This is one of the creepiest
Okay.
parts. We still don't know who Amber talked to on the phone that said she was sorry because it was not Avery. She didn't actually talk to Avery on the phone. She talked to someone. She still doesn't know who that even was.
That's so weird.
And the picture of her being arrested was just an image from the internet. So he went up there to see Avery acting like she was going to get arrested. There was never a court order, restraining order, anything. He was just saying that these things were happening. Okay. He also told Athena when they were first married that he had lung cancer. Here is one of the creepiest parts. Okay.
Hmm.
All of the back and forth on the parenting app and all of that. So, at the same time as all this is going on to explain to Amber why he's going back and forth to Seattle to actually see Avery, Athena didn't know that he'd moved to Oregon.
Oh my gosh.
So, Sydney, the 4-year-old daughter, who's maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 at this point, had a room at Avery's house And Athena didn't know, and Amber didn't know, and he expected Sydney to keep it a secret. And
Oh,
he was moving her around Seattle without Athena knowing where she was.
I would kill him.
Oh my God. And the pings on the phone, which you said earlier, the ping, 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 ping,
Mhm.
that he was saying Athena's blowing me up, never Athena. Not one time was it Athena. She
Who
didn't.
was it?
Athena said one of the random chicks he was probably screwing. Like, I mean, it wasn't,
Mm.
it was, his phone was just going off all the time and he just kept saying it's Athena. She won't leave me alone. Oh my God, you know, blah, 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 blah. It was never Athena.
My gosh.
Never Athena. So Athena's relationship with Brandon, and then I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna tell you the rest of the story, but we're gonna stop after Athena. So Athena, their relationship started in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
What Athena said is it was 15 years of hell.
Mm.
They started dating, um, they were in a relationship very quickly, and their daughter was born pretty quickly, Lexus. Or sorry, Sydney. And she already had her daughter Lexus.
Mm-hmm.
He was always bad to Lexus. And
Mm.
Lexus is a cool chick, man. She's in the documentary.
Mm.
Lexus is a really cool kid, very close to her mother. And Brandon was super infatuated with his own daughter, but treated Lexus really bad.
Mm.
He immediately was isolating Athena, targeting Lexus. She found out he cheated on her, which I mentioned a minute ago. He refused to
Mm.
move out. He did the big dramatic parasuicidal thing, like tying a noose on her swing set in the backyard,
Wow.
threatening suicide, all this kind of stuff. And then he got really, really cold and scary.
Mm.
Alexis got really worried for her mom. He was punching holes in walls, blocking doors, grabbing her arms, stalking her. And he started weaponizing a story with their daughter, Sydney, saying she's the one that cheated. So, like, as the marriage broke up, Brandon's telling Sydney, their daughter, that mom's the one that cheated.
Mm.
So then mom started to not like Athena, didn't want to be with Athena. And Lexus and Brandon is just basically doing this narrative manipulation with Sydney because he doesn't care.
Right, right.
Okay, so this big conversation happens. Amber and Athena finally have this conversation that's so important, right? And they're getting on the
Mm-hmm.
same page. And Amber posts on Facebook, one of those vague book posts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be careful who you marry.
Oh gosh.
And almost immediately, she gets inundated with stories of multiple affairs, past women he's done this to.
Oh gosh.
He has quite the story. Yep. So I'm going to stop there for 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. What are you thinking so far?
Well, I have to go watch the documentary now.
Oh my
Um,
God, it's so good, you guys. It's so good.
yeah, I'm gonna go watch it later. I'm not like thinking a lot, I'm just listening. It's like,
Mhm.
I mean, have you seen Tinder Swindler? Tinder
Oh, yeah.
Swindler? It's like that
Yes,
a
but
little bit.
less financial, although there is some financial stuff coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's he just manages people this
Yeah.
way.
Yep. And like, I'm sitting here thinking like, what's his diagnosis in my head? Like borderline? No. Maybe narcissism.
I mean, he's got some cluster B in there, allegedly.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at his whole file. Let's talk about psychopathy. So,
Right.
allegedly, I am not looking at all of his information. But one of the things I will say about psychopathy that we, I love when you try to yawn with your mouth closed. It's amazing. Therapists have to like practice this. It's actually a thing.
I'm not good at it.
And we're not good at it. Okay, so
I need
one
more
of the
coffee.
things, Gary, you can cut that out. Just crack me up. So one of the things that we look at with psychopathy, right,
Hmm.
is short-term marital relationships. It's
Yes.
literally one of the criteria for
Yes.
psychopathy. And we certainly have that here. Quick relationships, shallow connections, but like live in.
Mm-hmm.
He's managing to live in situations at a time
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's next level, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So these two, Amber and Athena, actually really start putting their brains together. And Amber decides, I'm going to leave. Athena's like, yeah, girl, like I got out. You need to get out. And they become friends,
Okay.
really become friends. Like
Who's blonde? Who's brunette?
the blonde is Athena,
Okay.
the brunette is Amber. They're both
Okay.
beautiful people and
Yeah.
brilliant women, which we'll get to. But they get together, and this is the best form of womanhood. They
Mm-hmm.
sit down, they clear the air, they realize they were never enemies, they never had all the information,
Mm-hmm.
and they bonded like sisters. And when I tell you,
Aw.
they are like besties, they are
Mm-hmm.
besties.
Mm-hmm.
And even like caring about the daughters, like Amber cares about these children. Like it's just very cool. Their friendship is very cool. But they start investigating together
Mm.
because they're like, well, the end of the story isn't us, clearly.
Right.
They find out he's had multiple protection orders dating back to 1997.
Oh my gosh.
His first protection order, restraining order, was when he was 19 years old.
Wow.
So at this point in the story, Brandon and Amber have been together for 5 years, married for two.
Okay.
And when she starts finding all of this and all of this history, she goes like, I'm going to leave.
Mm.
One of the past restraining orders was a 10-year
Mm.
restraining order, and that was one of
Dang.
several.
Dang.
So Amber starts realizing he's dangerous.
And he's scary. Yeah.
He's scary and he's dangerous. So she asks Brandon for a divorce.
Mm.
He won't take no for an answer. Now this part's a little I mean
Just say it.
I think okay, it's not entrapment, which one of our local districts needs to do some work on this, but it was Valentine's Day
Okay.
when Amber decided to get on up over there and try to serve him divorce papers. I think you and I can agree, little messy, little messy. He starts love bombing her. He's messing with her. When she goes to serve him, she gets another email from a woman that's saying, he's messing around on you.
Mm-hmm.
She got so mad that she started reading these emails to him, these messages people have been sending to her about his behavior. He throws his drink and says, why don't you see that it's that bitch, Athena?
So he doesn't know she's met with Athena.
No, but
Okay.
he knows that he's assuming it's her correctly, but also all these women have been telling him all these things. So
Right. Right.
she's just calling him on the carpet with evidence.
Right. Right.
He freaks out because his story all these years has been this is Athena, 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 right? He pulls a knife, threatens to kill himself,
Oh my gosh.
and is blocking the exit with his body. And again, like they say 800 times, he's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
So he's moving his body to keep her from leaving, right? Well, the veins are popping out of his neck and he's screaming. She finally tries to run. So she kind of like gets around him, runs, tries to open the front door, and he slams the door closed, which that just feels so scary to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then he stops. He looks at her, he lets her leave, and he says, you can leave, but I'm going to kill Athena and myself. And
Wow.
she lives close by. I mean, this is in her area, right?
Yeah.
Athena. This is in Athena's area.
Jeez. Okay.
So she was so scared. Amber was so scared. She drove all the way back to Oregon before she called police.
Mm.
Then she's calling police. She's telling Athena. Athena's panicking. They're trying to take care of, the kid. Where are the kids? What's going on? So Brandon gets arrested. He says what everyone says. It's a figure of speech. He wasn't actually going to kill anyone. Then he said, and this is recorded in court, he says, I say the same thing to my 9-year-old all the time. And his attorney goes, You're not helping, Brandon. You're not helping. I'm like, Brandon, let's let Brandon talk. Give him a mic.
Yeah.
Bring it up.
Put him on the
Bring
stand.
it up. I'd be the worst lawyer. I'd be like, Judge, can we turn up the volume a little bit?
Yep.
Fry him. So then he, at court, they had to both show up at court. Okay.
hmm
For this thing that happened to Amber and then what he had said about Athena, they both had to testify and show up at
hmm
court.
hmm
When they get to the court, they get there the same time as Brandon. Brandon accosts them before the metal detectors at the courthouse. And it is so bad, they have to call police backup.
Oh gosh.
That led to additional charges of the protection order. And they were all given 5-year no contact orders.
Okay.
And connected with a victim advocate who explained that she was actually the victim of domestic violence. And Amber says, That's the first time I realized that. In
Mm.
all of the cheating and the crazy and the gaslighting, she
hmm
didn't realize it was domestic violence.
hmm
So, quick shout out to Loretta.
hmm
Tell them who Loretta is.
She is a wonderful victim advocate that we've worked with for many, many years, where we used to work and then where we currently work. She contracts with us and we just love her.
We love her. And we love her because Loretta is, I always say, the victim advocate's the most important seat at the table in domestic violence work
Yep.
because they're willing to say the thing that maybe we don't see, and we can get comfortable with the people we work with, which is something that we're noodling on some topics for this summer at a conference, and one of them is how we get
Stay
snowed.
tuned. Yep.
We can get snowed, and I
Yeah.
think our victim advocates stand in the gap.
hmm
So, a couple really quick things I wanted to mention, and Nat, you can chime in. I know we're going quick because it's a long case, but safety at court.
hmm
We had a shooting. So, I've gone with one friend in particular, but a couple of friends. I've gone with them to court
hmm
just to be supportive. And you do feel really vulnerable until you're through the metal detectors. It's kind of
Yeah.
like once you're through the metal detectors, and there's great security in the courthouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But outside of the courthouse, it's a little bit scary.
Yeah.
And we had a shooting in Colorado Springs, downtown Colorado Springs. They've had shootings in the other districts. I think they've had a shooting in almost every district we work in,
Yeah,
honestly.
probably.
So, a couple quick strategies for safety there that I wanted to say at this point, because a lot of you are in court for custody things, even if there's not DV.
hmm
Show up at a totally different time, wait on a different floor. Like, you don't need to show up right before and go wait outside of the courtroom, even. Like, you can do things you need to do.
hmm
And recently, I was with a girlfriend, and the judge actually had her leave first and had her people leave first. It was almost like
That's great.
we got a head start, which is also
Yeah.
really scary when a judge recognizes the
hmm
risk to a degree that they let you leave early
hmm
and we're hustling to our cars, you know? I mean,
hmm
that's not a great feeling.
No.
But I've also seen men berating their attorneys outside of the courthouse. Like it's a dangerous place. So on the
Yeah.
one hand, I'm thankful that that happened
hmm
because it exposed him in a really public way that they had to pay
hmm
attention to. But it was terrifying. And you could tell
Yeah.
both women were like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
So, days after this restraining order was put into place, right? The
hmm
5-year restraining order, she's driving and she sees him and he flags her over.
Oh my gosh.
She pulls over. I have no idea why. I think she just was scared. And I think sometimes when people have been systematically broken down, they just do the thing. It feels safer to do the thing
Yeah.
than not.
Yeah.
He runs over, he gets her to roll her window down, and he leans in and tries to kiss her.
Oh gosh.
He does not care about protection orders, and we see this a lot.
Oh
So
my gosh, yes.
you need a protection order because it's one of the only paths to accountability. But the
Yeah.
protection order is not the thing that keeps you safe. It's the thing that
Yeah.
ultimately gets them prosecuted.
Right.
That's the key.
Yep.
There's a couple of other women that are highlighted. I'm not going to go into their whole stories, but one was one of his ex-girlfriends from 2006, D.
Mm.
And these guys are all becoming friends. They
Mm-hmm.
literally have a chat
Mm-hmm.
group. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Charlie's Angels. They're
Oh my
now all
gosh.
communicating.
I love
So
that.
Dee is a badass brunette. She's one of my favorites in the whole thing. And she makes it her mission to warn people about Brandon in her work as a hairstylist.
Wow.
So she was doing the Lord's work telling
Mm.
people
I love this.
not to date him.
Yeah.
Like, don't date Brandon.
Good.
Now, the scary thing is he did show up at one point where she was.
Mm.
And oh, it was a hotel. There were people everywhere. And this is after he knew that she had talked to Amber and Athena. He screamed, called her a whore, punched thick glass doors, and there were bystanders and everything. And when the women heard, Athena and Amber heard about that interaction,
Mm-hmm.
they get talking with Lexus, who loves podcasts, and they decide to start a podcast, Amber and Athena.
Wow.
So their podcast is called Ex-Wives Undercover.
Love this.
So these women are working their full-time day jobs just like you and me.
Mm-hmm.
And in their evenings, they're doing this kind of stuff and they're hanging out
Wow.
and they're researching, but they're talking very openly about Brandon.
Good.
They're talking about Brandon, they're talking about these situations. And as you can imagine,
Mm-hmm.
just like we're getting messages and interesting things from people, they're learning more and more and more stuff.
Mm.
And one of the things that Lexus talked about was how cool it is that they did this because she clearly loves both of these women so much.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that occurred to me as she was talking about her experience as the stepdaughter
Mm.
was how vulnerable stepkids,
Mm.
women, these men do not share, even with their own children. They don't
Mm-hmm.
share. And so if you're in a relationship with someone who sees a child as a threat to their time with you, that is an incredibly dangerous human being.
Yeah.
That is not a normal reaction. That's a
Yeah.
possessive domestic violence reaction.
Yeah.
So they're doing their
Mm.
podcasting, and guess who messages them?
Brandon.
Well, Brandon is fit to be tied, but it's not going well. So Brandon didn't message them. I mean,
Okay.
he may have at some point, but they hear from Kelly, who heard an audio clip of his voice and was like, oh my God, I can still visualize his eyes.
Mm.
And one of her friends had told her about this. So then they get Kelly's story. And just briefly, Kelly was his first serious girlfriend.
Oh gosh.
From 14 to 16 years old, they were together, 92
Oh
to
wow.
95, in a
Okay.
small town in Washington.
Okay.
They were in a relationship for 4 to 5 months. And she talked about how chaotic the relationship was and that she was, quote unquote, his.
Mm.
He had been bullied for a bit for being overweight, so he started lifting weights, talked about wanting to protect women, keep her safe, whatever. Meanwhile, he's completely berating her, criticizing her, threatening her, threatened suicide if she was to leave, stalked her, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so when they start hearing this, it just becomes even more clear. This isn't a man who had a bad relationship and got torqued. His whole being is centered around power and control.
Mm-hmm.
So Brandon initially didn't listen to podcasts, so they weren't worried. But as the podcast got bigger, they were waiting, and it was always in the back of their mind that he's going to hear this. Well,
Right.
he did finally find out, and he tried to sue them.
For defamation.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Cease and desist letter, all the things. So they got a First Amendment right lawyer, And they said this is a public interest,
Mm-hmm.
not protected, right? Speech. This was freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
They won the lawsuit. So then he goes after their reputations and creates a bunch of Instagram pages. Men underscore against underscore abusive underscore women.
Oh my gosh, shut up.
Yes, those kinds of pages, and we all know those kinds of pages. The
I'm looking it
alienation
up.
ones always send me a little bit too, you know.
Men.
Men underscore against underscore abusive underscore women underscore maybe underscore after that. The thing that's funny about that, I wonder if he's maintaining it from prison. Probably not.
Men
At
against
what point do you give that up?
abusive women. Oh, I found it.
Men against abusive women. Well, their fans who are like us flag every account. He puts it up, they flag it. He puts it up, they flag it. And they figure out he's behind all of them, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they kept wondering was how does he have all this money for attorneys? Like, where is this money coming from? Like, he has a job, but like,
Right.
it's not this kind of money, right?
Right.
And you know, I'm a dog with a bone. When somebody starts showing up with all kinds of money, I'm like, this math ain't mathing. Like, I work my ass off and I can't spend money like that. I know you're not doing something right, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, sure enough, a woman named Elizabeth reaches out to them and said, hey, I'm dating someone who sounds a lot like Brandon.
Oh
Here's his
no.
driver's license. And it says Brandon Crane.
Oh no.
So this woman is like, oh, fuck right off. I'm going to the courthouse immediately.
Right.
She deep dives and finds out there's a bunch of charges against him for embezzlement, felony theft, all of this stuff because he pretended to be a headhunting firm recruiting employees for the job that he was working in HR. So he was making contracts with himself
Oh my
and
gosh.
paying himself, and he was not authorized to do any of that. And he did it in his mother's name, and he logged into the email as his mother on his work computer. And the total damages, your face, total damages $392,000. And that's, I mean, it's almost $500,000. $392,000.
That's insane.
But as we know with economic crimes, which is one of my current fixations,
Mm-hmm.
um, you're free as long as you go to your court dates while they're working through that process, right?
Oh my gosh.
So then the Charlie's Angels text thread is all a Twitter, right? Because now we have all this happening and this is happening, and they're putting all of these pieces together. Well, they start getting videos of him doing terrible things to these women, like things they couldn't prove, but it would look like him and he would cut brake lines,
Mm.
right? And there was one woman in particular who was really scared who had videos of him kind of prowling around, but it wasn't enough to charge him probably.
Yeah.
So Athena tries to reassure her and say, listen, that's 2 o'clock in the morning. He was with our daughter. Like, I really don't think it's him. I think you're okay. Was trying to reassure her. In that process, she finds out he was leaving their daughter in his truck while he was out stalking women in the middle of the night. She was just wrapped up in a blanket in the back of his truck, and he's out stalking women in the middle of the night.
Mm.
And
I
so
feel.
shortly after this, he decides that he can't take Sydney anymore. I think he knew things were getting really bad. And then he just disappeared. He disappeared. And Athena goes, okay, I'm going to at least go over there and get my daughter's things. So Athena goes to his place to figure out, like, did he really leave? Where is he going?
Mm-hmm.
Finds a crossbow and arrows in the garage. He's not supposed to have any kind of
Mm-hmm.
weapon, which
Weapon,
includes a
yeah.
crossbow. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're reassuring themselves. They see the crossbow. Again, Charlie's Angels. Ah, everybody's freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
They believe he's left the state. That's what they're thinking. Then D, the badass hairstylist, is at the gym and he comes sauntering up to like the smoothie bar or whatever at the gym and she sees him and he looked right at her and she said she was terrified and she knew she could not leave safely. She called the police immediately.
Mm.
By the time the police got there, he had already left on foot and the police couldn't find him. So then Athena's like, this is where the courts, and this is something you and I are going to talk about in a minute, but the civil court and the criminal court don't communicate well. And the court tries to keep them separate, which is okay, except with child welfare situations, because he should not have access to his kid with all the shit he has going on. But because it's not happening in the civil court with his daughter specifically, he technically could pick her up, except he didn't have a driver's license. So Athena was kind of telling the school and trying to protect Sydney. He had a right to see his daughter. The only loophole that she had was he didn't have a valid driver's license. So the only way he could see his daughter is if someone else drove her.
Oh, gosh.
Well, he did successfully pick her up from school. So one day after school, Athena gets a call, right? And Sydney's not at the school and had gotten picked up, and Sydney's not picking up, and Athena's freaking out. And she starts getting texts from her daughter, SOS, help, not a joke. Okay, this is Sydney, who has been weaponized a little bit to not believe her mom. So now she's seeing the crazy. He had left Sydney at a pizza place with $10 and he got an Uber. And then he like ordered an Uber and he sat and watched from across the street, which is really terrifying. Honestly, they didn't even make a big enough deal about this in the documentary because I'm thinking he could have killed them. I mean, he could have come out and killed Athena. I would be surprised if that wasn't what was going on in his head. But he disappeared. Athena was able to get Sydney and leave without him attacking Athena. And then he disappears again and nobody knows where he is.
Oh my gosh.
So being a parent now, Nat, I mean, part of this case, I was thinking about what it would be like to co-parent with a nightmare of a human, because my husband, I would be so furious if he did something to hurt me or break up our family or whatever. But I trust his overall judgment as a human being that he would not hurt my kid. It is so hard watching in the documentary Athena trying to keep her daughter safe.
Yeah.
Having limited resources and limited rights to do so. What comes up for you when you think about that? When you think about like somebody having access to your child legally, technically having access to your child and having them be this kind of a person.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of feelings about it aside from like I would do everything in my power to make sure that person had zero access.
Yeah. But how do you do that?
Right. I mean,
they're doing protection orders.
Yeah.
They're doing the protection order covered her, but not Sydney.
Yeah.
He lied to the daughter, so the daughter wants to see her dad.
Yeah.
He's in trouble in criminal courts. I would hope that would be enough. It's not.
Yeah.
So Brandon's missing. Jump to March 2021. Brandon kind of goes dark for a while. They're still doing their podcast, okay? So Amber and Athena are still doing their ex-wives undercover, and they're talking to women, and they are making it kind of a mission to reach out to women who either have been affected by Brandon or could be affected by Brandon, and talking about all the things. Okay. So in California, El Dorado Hills, it flashes to this like cute little neighborhood, and there's this woman, Nikki, and her husband, Eric, who start talking about their neighbor, Rachel. who
Okay.
was newly single and had met a guy. And apparently, Rachel was just such a sweet, tender-hearted person, open,
Mm-hmm.
really good friends with these two. And they spent a lot of time together. So they go on their first kind of outing all together.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric and Nikki are talking about how excited they were that if Rachel had found a nice guy, Nikki's like, well, that's going to be Eric's new best friend, and we're going to do everything
Yeah.
together because that's how women are, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they go out axe throwing
Oh
and they're
no.
drinking and they're having a good time. Then they go out dancing and everything was really good at first.
Mm-hmm.
They're having a good night. At one point, Eric and Brandon were both kind of drinking at the bar, and Brandon kind of disappears. And Eric's like, where's Brandon? It's weird. Well, flash to the women's bathroom. Rachel and Nikki had gone to the bathroom, and all of a sudden, boom, Brandon barges into the bathroom. Nikki said that his eyes were blacked out and glossed over. And he starts screaming, how dare you disrespect me dancing with that girl? Because they met some at the bar and they were dancing and having a good time. And he smashes his glass on the ground. And Rachel goes home with Eric and Nikki. And Eric said it was really scary. And Eric literally says he's going to kill her. Like he's going to cut her up into tiny pieces. That's what he says.
Mm-hmm.
Eric's like, absolutely not, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And Eric's not, this is the thing. A good man isn't going to be like, I'm going to kick his ass.
Right.
He's like, this guy is
Scary.
dangerous. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
smart man.
Yeah.
So he wasn't posturing like he was going to get in a fight with him, which was smart. But he saw the danger in this man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eric and Nikki assumed that's going to be the end of Brandon. Like we'll never see him again. That was nuts. Well, unfortunately, Rachel's forgiving
Mm-hmm.
and Brandon's apologetic.
Mm-hmm.
And Nikki also has a friend. Sorry, Rachel also has a friend who was a SANE nurse at the hospital
Mm.
who was single and they would go out and stuff. And they were like, oh, absolutely not. Like, we're
Mm-hmm.
not doing this with this Brandon dude, right? Well, Amber and Athena figure out that Brandon's dating Rachel from
Mm-hmm.
social media, whatever. And they're on it, right? Like, they're like everybody's mom at this point. They're
Yeah. Yeah.
like, not today, Satan.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to call. They call Rachel. And Rachel agreed to talk to them and they tell her everything.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel tells Brandon, confronts him, and he spins his podcast revenge story, right? This is a big sob story.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel gives him another second chance, right? So in January of 2022, Athena gets a random text message that just says, your time is coming, bitch.
Oh wow.
And it's from an unknown number.
Yeah.
She knows police can't do anything unless they can prove that he used that number to send that message. And the
Mm-hmm.
police already have not been enchanting in this whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she decides to take a chance and she reaches out to Rachel
Mm-hmm.
and said, Rachel, has he ever used this phone number with you? Because I just got this text from this number. And Rachel, even though she was in a relationship with Brandon, said, yes, he texted me from that number last night. And Athena said, can
Mm-hmm.
you screenshot it for me? And she did.
Wow.
So now we have a death threat. And I have so much respect for Rachel that in that moment, instead of being like, that's my boyfriend, like, go away,
Mm-hmm.
understood in that moment.
This is
This
not
is
good.
bigger than that
Yeah.
and was willing to actually give the evidence that they needed. Here's the
Yep.
problem. It's California.
Mm.
And Brandon's behavior is getting nuts. So March 2021, he meets and starts hanging out with Rachel. April 2021, Brandon's behavior is super erratic. Everything's escalating. And all of Rachel's friends get together and basically tell her, you've got to end this.
Mm.
And they show Amber talking to Rachel and saying, don't be me on the podcast. Don't be me. Don't do this. Like, don't
Mm.
put years of your life in with this man.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So she ended things. He escalates.
Mm.
A couple months later, Nikki, who again was the friend, right? Nikki and Eric were the friends. She ends up getting the bulk of Brandon's wrath. So
Hmm.
months later, out of nowhere, Nikki's car gets keyed all the way up one side at a
Wow.
random place, not by the house, not at home, random place. And she's like, maybe it could have been a random thing. Eric's like, maybe you pissed somebody off driving, whatever. Couple days later, tire slashed.
Jeez.
Couple days later, the other side of her car gets keyed all the way, every panel. So Rachel reaches out to Athena and Amber for advice because they're
Hmm.
figuring out these chicks are better than law enforcement. Let's go.
Hmm. Hmm.
So they told Nikki, you got to check your car for a tracker. So they told Eric to go search the car for a tracker. They found a tracker on Nikki's car and on Rachel's son's car. Hmm. Oh, Nat. I have like only 2 pages of notes left, but it's so insane.
Okay.
So they're starting to figure out his playbook,
Hmm.
what he's doing, which is helpful
Hmm.
because they can help her then with the gaslighting and other women. Once you know how somebody operates, it demystifies their behavior a little bit. You
Hmm.
and I do
Hmm.
this all the time. So Eric and Nikki are taking appropriate precautions. They're like, hail to the no, bought guns,
Hmm.
took firearms classes, and Brandon ups his stalking of Rachel, keeps going wherever Rachel goes, and he's texting exact sentences that were said in private conversations. So he would say something like, well, I know your friend thinks I'm a blah, 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 blah. And it was like
Oh,
exactly what
creepy.
someone said. Yep. So Rachel plans a Valentine's Day girl weekend at her place.
Hmm.
Nikki doesn't go. Nikki lives like next door. Nikki's like, nope, that doesn't
Right.
work, right?
Yeah.
Well, while they're all there, like women do, it's exactly what I would do. They decide we're going to search this house top to bottom. We're going to figure out
Yeah.
how he knows what we're talking about. They find a listening device and a camera tied to the bottom of her bed with her own hair ties.
Gross.
Isn't that so scary?
Yeah.
And then they're scared. So Rachel reported it to police, but police are like, well, we don't know how to prove that he's the one who broke in and planted it, and there's more fingerprints on it and whatever, right? So Athena and Amber, your resident
Hmm.
law enforcement experts, are like, get cameras.
Hmm.
And you turn cameras on inside and outside of your home, right?
Hmm.
Natalie, the footage of him prowling around her house at night is terrifying. He
Mm.
is sneaking around, but again, it's hard to tell that it's him because it's like night vision crap and he's wearing a
Hmm.
hat and whatever. There's something in his hand a couple times.
Mm.
So then at one point, he broke in and turned all the cameras off in the bedroom. That's all he did, which is like so creepy.
Creepy.
She figured it out, called Athena and Amber, and they're like, girl, get those cameras back on immediately. That's your first job. Go get those cameras back on, right? Now, if somebody told me, knowing what I know, if somebody called me and told me that happened, I would say go to a hotel immediately, get out, go to
Yeah.
a different state. Like, it
Yeah.
can't be there.
Don't stay. Yeah.
But she stayed there, and they start to have a pact that they're going to talk every couple hours, her and Nikki, to make sure they're both okay, because he's targeting both of them.
Hmm.
A week later, Nikki couldn't reach Rachel. She'd had a terrifying run in with Brandon. Brandon had approached her, had zip ties over his hands, and was trying to grab her hands. So, like, if he could take them off of his wrist and put them onto hers.
And like connect her to him.
Yep. Well, just if he could get him on her hands and pull, then
Oh,
she would be bound, right?
right.
But because Nikki was blowing the phone up so much, it spooked Brandon, and she was able to break away and get in her car. They filed a protection order immediately. He got away. They filed a protection order. But in California, at that time, I don't know if it's still true, protection orders have to be filed
Mm.
and then served,
Oh
like
God.
in person served, which is really hard to do.
Hmm.
So on March 1st, I think, March 1st, March 11th, I think. Yes, March 11th, 2022. Nope, March 1st, 2022. She told everybody, I'm going to stay home and do laundry. Like she kind of had let people know she had a date with her laundry.
Yeah.
She was going to hang out, whatever. Well, you see him in the outside camera in the middle of the night carrying a ladder. He broke into her house, into her room,
Mm,
and he raped her. And you can hear her saying no, and it was
mm,
caught on camera. And then he was acting like he didn't do anything wrong.
mm-hmm.
And she didn't take it to law enforcement because she felt ashamed.
Mm,
And so Nikki finally steps up with Rachel and says, we have to get him served with the restraining order. We have to. If you're not going to report this thing, we have to at least get him served. So they came up with this story that Rachel was going to meet up with him. She didn't. It was a friend who served him with the restraining order, which that was a brave friend. I don't know who it was,
yeah.
but it was a brave
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So then on March 11th, this is going to make you mad. He has a court date
Mm-hmm.
about the restraining order and all of his things. He was allowed to attend on Zoom. He had his camera off
Mm-hmm.
and they pushed his court date back, which you know this
Oh my
happens all the time. I know of cases that 9 months to a year it just keeps getting pushed,
God.
right? Well, one of Brandon's friends alerted Athena and Amber that Brandon told him that he was ending it because, quote, the bitches took it too far. And then he's sending videos and pictures, and there's something on his seat that looks like a gun.
Mm,
The same day, an old friend, this is like a God works in mysterious ways kind of thing. The
mm-hmm.
same day, an old friend of Rachel's named Austin reached out to her. He didn't really know what was going on, but he reached out to her and he's a low key person and I think had maybe liked her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so she hung out with Nikki for a while and then Austin came over and hung out at her place.
Mm-hmm.
At 7:15, Brandon breaks into the house
Oh no.
and this is all captured on camera. You can watch this happen on camera,
Oh no.
which is so scary. Comes in with a taser with a flashlight on it. It looked like a gun. I thought it was a gun. It looks just like a gun. And there's a big flashlight on it. And so Rachel describes she's sitting by Austin. They're sitting on opposite sides of the bed, kind of look so they're facing each other. And you see this flashlight hit Austin in the face, and Austin's kind of like this, and it's freaking Brandon. He goes over with the taser in one hand and the knife in the other. They're stuck in the bed, like he's
Mm,
standing between the bed and the door.
mm-hmm.
And she sits up and tries to talk to him. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like, put that down, which is super brave too, because I mean, everyone thought it was a gun at that
Mm-hmm.
point still. She tries to move the thing in his hand. He grabs her in a headlock and he takes her and he's like pushing her head down and he's doing all this stuff and he's threatening to blow their heads off and all this stuff. And Austin's sitting there and they're staying remarkably calm. And Austin's like, come on, man, like knock it off. And Rachel's just really trying to be calm. Like she's not
Mm-hmm.
fighting him, but he has her in a headlock and he's like pinning her down with his forearm and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He takes his hand and he punches Austin in the head. And Austin said, I don't even know if I got hit with the gun or the knife because he's got a knife in one hand,
Mm,
gun in the other.
right.
And he takes Rachel, who he'd been pinning down, and he throws her against the wall. And you see her hit
Mm,
the wall.
mm-hmm.
Austin jumps up. It was a split second decision. I mean, this is like DeMarcus jumping in
Mm-hmm.
the river. Like it was like just
Mm-hmm.
like a bam, here we go.
Mm-hmm. Like no
Jumps
thought.
up, grabs him, and now they are fighting.
Oh gosh.
They are fighting. And Rachel's so scared. She's standing there holding the phone, and it's such a good depiction of fight, flight, or freeze because
Mm-hmm.
she can't remember the number you're supposed to call in this
Mm,
situation, and she's standing there and she's terrified. Well, Austin is not a tiny human, but he's not quite as big as Brandon. But he luckily had trained in jujitsu.
oh, there you go.
He chokes Brandon out.
Made him pass out?
Made him pass out, choked him out.
Good.
But I mean, they're like wrestling first for a while,
Right,
and,
right,
and
right, right.
Rachel's trying to help and whatever. But Austin finally gets up on him and chokes him out all the way
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Right. So Austin's saying, like, are you done? Are you done? Like, I mean, handling himself extraordinarily well. I'm like, are you on? Like, well, who is this guy? He just like
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
showed up and handled himself brilliantly.
mm-hmm.
Well, Deputy Doodah shows up on the scene,
Oh no.
and Brandon was trying to leave, and they intercepted him. But he gets away, and it's really sad to watch. They're like, freeze, Brandon, stop, blah blah blah, and he
Oh
just
my
like runs
God.
away. Well, he ends up getting tased like 3 to 4 times. It's a little bit of a facepalm moment because Austin did all but put a bow on his ass,
Right.
and then police still struggled to arrest him. But
Right.
when they finally get him, inside of his sweatshirt, he had put strips of duct tape.
Mm-hmm.
He had a wig, a brown wig, and he had handcuffs and he had a whole bunch of crap in his car.
Hmm.
So what they figured out was he was at a minimum going to rape her and kidnap
Mm-hmm.
her, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when he confronted them, what do you think he told them?
Some story.
What do you think the story was based on our work
Oh
with
gosh.
these men? What do you think is what's the go-to?
It's her fantasy.
Yes, it's a sex thing. It's a stupid ass sex thing that's never
I
true.
hate it. My
No woman
God.
wants this. This is not a thing that
I
happens. But he
hate
tried it. He
it.
tried it now. Now, the people interrogating him, I enjoyed this because he thought he disabled the cameras. So they're asking him great questions. Okay. They're harnessing their best Tammy
Mm-hmm.
impression, right? So they're like,
Mm-hmm.
tell me about the duct tape, man. That's a weird thing to have in your
Mm-hmm.
jacket. Why you got a wig? I was going to a Halloween party. You were going to a costume party. Where were you going? I don't know. I mean, it's like they're doing this dance,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, he denied pushing her. And that's when the cops are like, yeah,
We're
I'm over,
done.
right?
We're
Because he's
done.
like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't put my hand on a woman. I
Oh,
wouldn't, blah.
whatever. People
He
are so
explained
stupid.
the recording device. He said, well, she liked to hear herself, and so did I.
Gross.
Oh, never, never. Brandon,
Gross.
worst, worst. So, one of the things that the cops did was they brought in the camera, they brought in the thing, and they go, I have a file to show you. And they show the video, and he's just like, I don't want to watch this. Too fucking bad,
I bet you don't want to watch
Right.
it.
So he's like playing it. The plan was most likely, like I said, to kidnap and rape her. And they felt pretty confident in that. When she went through her garage the next day, there was a bag in her garage
Oh
that had
no.
ammonia and bleach in it that she did not purchase.
Oh shoot.
Right. And
Mhm.
everyone's now worried, will any of this stick? So he's in jail, and they're like, are they even going to keep him because he's so manipulative? And
Mhm.
Austin's like, this is going to end up, he's going to tell some weird story, which he tried, right? What if they believe him? Whatever.
Mhm.
So with Athena and Amber, yet again, they're like, you need a paper trail, girly.
Mhm.
So that's what they did. And they got on the phone and met with law enforcement and prosecutors and gave them everything.
Wow.
Everything from the podcast, everything from their court cases, everything from the criminal side, like every single thing.
Yeah.
And then he was finally offered a plea deal of 10 years. She was informed by her representation, she being Rachel,
Mhm.
that this was a pretty just sentence for what this would be.
Mhm.
And, what Rachel said is she goes, something was taken from me, but I can take it back. Like I can take my life back,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And so basically, couple of things that I wanted to just pick your brain about for 2 seconds.
Mhm.
With his plea deal, He, was given the 10 years. He pled no contest to charges of attempted kidnapping with
Mhm.
intent to commit rape and assault with a deadly weapon. So that was the 10-year state prison sentence.
Mhm.
He was also guilty of attempted first-degree theft, which was a 36-month sentence. They ran those concurrent.
Mhm.
He's eligible for parole in May of 2027.
That's stupid.
And then he has to be for life on the sex offender registry in the state of California.
Well, that's good.
That part I did like, yes.
Yeah. That should be a nation thing, but
Well, and that's one of the things I wanted to discuss. So
mm,
obviously Brandon is completely I'm trying to think how to say this. His psychology is completely wrapped up in power and control.
mhm.
This presentation is incredibly difficult to treat.
Mhm.
He would likely do very well in treatment, unfortunately,
Yeah, because
except
he's
for
manipulative.
protection order violations that he would do.
Well, and here's the thing, you and I've worked with someone like this,
Yep.
and the protection order violations are um enough for me to say like something math ain't mathin'.
Well, yeah, but we've seen people in the system with 17 protection order violations. And because they're such a sad sack and they're nonviolent, they're given more room than they should have. So there's a gap in our ability to intervene with these kind of offenders. There just is in the system.
Mhm.
And if she hadn't, first of all, survived what should have been a lethal encounter,
Mhm.
if that was a gun, that they're dead.
Mhm.
So he just decided he wasn't going to kill her. But
Mhm.
that in should have been lethal in
Right.
what would have happened in most cases, I think. The other thing is because he probably would have slipped through
Mhm.
treatment, what do you do with somebody like this when they're up for parole? Like
Don't
my
put 'em on.
well, but
Mhm.
I mean he will be at least he'll go
No, I
before a
know.
board, right? So
Yeah.
in this case
I
you
mean,
have
ankle monitor.
yeah, but they cut those suckers off and disappear. He disappeared 5 times.
I mean, here's the thing. There's no perfect system. So
Yeah.
they're putting him on up for parole because he didn't murder anyone.
Yep.
And I mean, people like this, what's hard is like, my opinion is he should be um in prison for like 25 to, or more, life or more,
Yeah.
essentially. But you can't do that because he didn't murder anyone.
Hmm.
So the problem is people like this usually terrorize people for a long ass time until they get too old to do it.
That's right.
Or they escalate to the point where they're not, then they are in life or in prison for life.
Yeah, because they killed
So
somebody.
exactly. So that's the problem with the system, right? Like we can't necessarily incarcerate people
Mm-mm.
if they don't do a crime bad enough for that type of incarceration.
Yeah.
And yet his personality type is lethal.
This is
So, but
what's
like,
terrifying about this because
yeah.
all the markers are there. He's got traits of psychopathy. I'm not diagnosing, I'm just saying he has traits,
Mm-hmm.
particularly around the short-term marital relationships, parasitic lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
criminal versatility. Like there's a lot happening there that's pretty dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that's so hard in these cases, like you said, is he happened to go in with a taser.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't kill her. He didn't inflict serious injury on either party, not because he didn't intend to, but because he didn't have the opportunity to,
Mm-hmm.
because Austin was successful. This, in theory, would be a great time to intervene.
Mm-hmm.
But as a therapist, I don't think this is a treatable human, to be
No, he's
honest.
not.
I
No, he's
don't
not.
think you can change his internalized core values.
Correct.
He would have to choose to live for something. It's not going to be his daughter who was in the truck while he was stalking women.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to figure out what's broken in him, and I'm not sure it's fixable.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can't treat necessarily this issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
how do we keep the woman he gets with when he gets out of prison safe? Because that's going to happen. And fortunately for freaking Rachel, there was a literal podcast, two ex-wives and about 100 women who were chasing this man like it was their full-time job.
Right.
That is not your average victim of something
No.
like this. So, fortunately for Brandon's future victims, Athena and Amber and Rachel and Kelly and
Mhm.
Dee are probably
Mhm.
all going to show up at his parole hearing and be like, raise
Hell
your
no.
hand if he was
Mhm.
scary to you. But
Mhm.
I don't think a lot of victims get that kind of representation. In fact, I've never heard of it before.
Mhm.
One of the things they put forth in this documentary is, could we have a database of criminal activity that's countrywide?
Yeah, that's what I think we need.
I think so too. And I also think that if you plead guilty to a domestic violence offense, I think it needs to stay on your record. And I think
Huh.
as much as I care about the offenders that we treat, and I do believe they can change, and we see a lot of them change, the ones who take full accountability
Mhm.
understand that they need to explain the things that they've done. And an accountable person can tell you that
Mhm.
and tell you what's changed and what they've worked on. The risk of that though is, and this is what people don't know, in a state like Colorado, you can get deferred judgments because it's like a property crime or something like
Yeah.
that, and then you can't get a job because the
Yeah.
charge says domestic violence. So
Yeah.
we have to have some better nuance probably
Yeah.
legally to be able to
Well,
do this, but we need
I think if it's physical violence, strangulation,
Mhm.
stalking, I think all of that needs to stay.
It has to stick. I think it has to stick.
I think the domestic violence enhancer has to stick. And it's interesting because Petito, her dad that we've met, Joe Petito,
Yep.
talked about that. He said, I think, if someone strangles their
Yep.
victim, there should be a registry for that.
I agree. I agree
And
100%.
so I think if there's physical violence in any way, the DV enhancer should not be taken off. I do think similar to sex offenses, DV
Yes.
needs something similar.
Some kind of a registry or some kind of a something.
Yeah. And I think it should be also nationwide.
Yes. I think women should have a right to know if
Mhm.
the man they're seeing has
Yes.
terrorized previous
Other
partners.
women. Yes.
I do. And I think they should get booted off of dating sites as well.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah. Yeah.
and
They
and
need to do a
that's
better job screening those.
we do. So the heart of this one is just, it's good to be a woman, and there's nothing better than when women
Mhm.
support each other. I don't know that there's a force greater than women and mothers supporting each other. And
I
so
agree with that.
I don't know, Nat. I've been kind of toying with the idea of like this summer when we speak, and I'm put you and I are working together on like what are we going to speak on with these high risk offenders.
Hmm.
And then we're in talks with a survivor who has an amazing story with a perpetrator that would have done well in treatment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we're putting forth ideas for different ways to treat and find these folks.
Hmm.
Then we're going to need a legal answer. And
Hmm.
that is going to involve partnering with petitos, districts,
Hmm.
the government. Like we're going to have to find a way to do that.
Yep.
And I'm here for it. So I hope
Yep.
if you guys have connections for us, even on a legislative level, or
Oh.
of people trying to make a difference in this way, I think Nat and I would really like to throw our experience and our knowledge of the field behind an effort like that to have better information, because these
Hmm.
women are risking everything to keep each other safe.
Hmm.
The least we can do as a society is find a system that would make that a little bit easier.
Yep. Yep.
You know?
I agree.
There's your case, girl. How do you feel? Good Lord.
Mm. I have to go watch the documentary.
No, you guys, please watch it. Please
Go watch it
watch it.
and watch the Diddy one. It's crazy.
It's so good. We'll cover Diddy. I'm sure Nat will probably do Diddy, but
I'll cover Diddy.
yeah,
Thank you for sharing this one. Why it's right when you think like, okay, it's gonna like settle down. Nope, it just
nope,
ramps
nope.
right back up.
There's just
So
more turns. So
yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Stay tuned for the education efforts we're going to be doing this summer.
Yes.
And we'll see y'all next week.
As always.
Bye, forensic friends. I'm Janine.
And I'm Nat.
And as always, thanks for listening and join us next week for more crime, psychology, and heart.